welcome to the Birth of Success podcast, where we educate, opinionate, and demonstrate to parents how to swivel in a time of crisis. I'm your host, Savon, aka the Father of Success, and our lovely co-host,
Just the best.
How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, a little overwhelmed.
Exhausted,
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's certainly the mood that's been going around right now. So we're going to dive in. We have a lot to talk about. We're not going to start off with our current events just yet because obviously that's the hot topic or what's going on in the world right now. But we can definitely dive into the stock portion or our stock picks of the week.
So, we're going to get into the stock portion. I'm not currently jumped back in since my L from doing a Twitter option, but
Since
I'll be
your
back.
lesson learned.
Yeah, I'll be back soon. But Vaughn, what stocks have you been looking at or interested in?
The stock that I've been looking at out of the ordinary is Intuit. What do I know about the company? This company pretty much owns TurboTax, as well as they do 80% of the payroll for small business owners in the United States. So with 70% of the U.S. being built off of small businesses, they have an economic moat, meaning they have something that sets them apart from everybody else. Along with, so Intuit was a stock that I went ahead and jumped in this past week. Along with the stock that is certainly on my watch list is Alexander Realty. Now, obviously, real estate is not the best thing to get into in regards to the stock market right now because of the pandemic and people not being able to pay their rent or mortgage. Even the owners are struggling to continue to keep up with their lease because their businesses are closing. However, Alexander Realty, what separates them or makes them so special is this is the real estate investment trust that all of the vaccine companies, so Gillette and all these vaccine companies that people are investing in, they're paying Alexander Realty to rent out the spaces to test these vaccines. So like I said, I have not jumped on to them as of yet, but they are on my watch list, and I'll probably be doing so very soon. Any questions in regards to that? And it's kind of unorthodox to pick a real estate company, but again, if everybody's searching for a vaccine during the pandemic, it's like playing the lotto, picking the right one. So instead of, you want to make sure you're going to get somebody or you have stock invested with somebody that you know is going to thrive regardless who has the vaccine. They're all paying Alexander Realty. So, and they do pay dividends for our listeners. So, those are our start picks of the week. So as we told the listeners last episode in regards to our DISC assessment, one of our strengths, or one of Jessica's strengths, is her ability to be able to research facts or just research. She's a master researcher, and coming up with that, after learning that, we came up with an actual segment on our show, which is Jessica's random facts. So we want to know, what has Jessica researched?
So I just want to let you guys know I went out for the first time, like in the crowd, like in a club lounge area since the whole COVID-19 thing. I went out on Saturday, and I went out on Friday, and I drank tequila, like you've heard me talk about in the past. My best friend put me on Casamigos, which I'm usually a Patron drinker, but a random fact that I found out about Casamigos is it was actually co-founded in 2013 by George Clooney, and it says Rondé Gerber and Mike Meldon, and then it was purchased in 2017 by Diageo for 700 million plus, up to a further 300 million based on the brand's performance.
Sounds like some expensive taste to me.
The tequila is
High class.
it's not super super high class. It's super good as far as like taste, and it's smooth. It is a little bit more expensive on the like per shot amount.
But isn't it obviously like the higher the shot? Obviously, it's based off the brand, but that's the
it's
top
a good
shelf.
Tequila, so yes, it's up there with top shelf. So I just wanted to say that because I drink tequila and I thought that was super cool.
And a lot of people right now could use a shot of tequila or a glass of wine. So I thought that obviously that's news to me. I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't know George Clooney had any dealings with it, but
well, you'll be surprised. That's one thing in regards to investing. You'll be surprised what investments people or some stars may have behind the scenes, just because we might see them on TV or we may see them, you know, doing something actively. Even an athlete, that doesn't mean they may not have involvement or other type of investment ventures. So that I like that. George Clooney. And what was the name of it? Oh,
it's Casamigos.
Oh, Casamigos. Yeah, the one you like.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what I'm telling you.
I heard you say tequila, but oh wow. Yeah, so that's our fact of the week. And another new segment that we have is called What's in the Bag. You know, everybody's chasing that bag. You know, a lot of girls want that bag, the Birkin bag, you know, what all kind of bag it may be. But, you know, this is a different bag. We may have different bags every episode or every other episode, but today, what's in the bag? This is more so a computer bag. So, the first thing that is in my bag, people, is a book that just came in that we're reading in the Sleepless Nights. See if you all can see that. This is called How to Read a Book. Obviously it tells you different ways, because a lot of people know how to read, myself included, but may not necessarily know how to read a book. I feel like I'm looking forward to it, because maybe it'll make me be able to read a lot quicker, or be able to skim through things the way you're supposed to skim through it. And I have another goal with me not smoking anymore. I want to be able to read, you know, gain more knowledge, or put that little small time that I used to spend into learning something else or doing something else. So how to read a book, Sleepless Nights, we'll be reading this. Looking forward to it.
Okay, and what else is in the bag?
What else do we have in here?
We have two things in the bag.
Yeah, we have this as well. Shout out to my sister Tia. Got this book, Principles, from what's the bookstore? Barnes and Noble. She bought me a Barnes and Noble's gift card, and I had to use it immediately on Principles by Ray Dalio. And if people don't know who Ray Dalio is, you should certainly look him up. He's one of the greatest economic investors of all time, meaning that he invests on the economy. And this is Ray Dalio Principles on Life and Work. He talks about your work-life balance and principles that he's used to be so successful. I think he's like one of the fifth or sixth richest men of all, or he's definitely certainly one of the greatest economic investors. Yeah, that's all that we have in the bag today. One thing that I do want to say in regards to a time like this, I do feel like it's very important for you to get involved in a coaching program, or, you know, find ways to be as productive as possible. You may hear me mention Sleepless Nights. That's a program that I'm in. Other people, it may not even be a program. It may be a podcast, or, you know, what are some things that you like to look into, Jessica, that people that could, advice that you could give parents, or, you know, people
like
our
I've said
age
before,
right now?
I'm real big for like different type of forums. So for like young moms, or any type of like group that you can be a part of, where you share something that you all have in common. I think it's really important and even therapeutic sometimes to, you know, talk amongst other people that you have something in common with, because, you know, when you do that, you may learn that you're not the only person that either share like a certain type of struggle or also face the same kind of adversity as someone else. And like I said, it is very therapeutic to, you know, kind of get how you feel off your chest and also be able to share that with someone else, and they can even, you know, vent to you or talk to you about those things. It is good to be a part of something. So I always encourage people, be a part of something. Be a part of something that you feel will help you, that you feel will make a change or impact. Just be a part of something.
Or even if you don't know if it may help you, it's important to be a part of some type of community. Like you said, it could be a Facebook group, because I see
We have
great
a friend
Facebook
right now
groups.
that's volunteering. Right?
Yeah. Shout out
She's
to Kelsey. She's
out
volunteering out by. It's called Everybody Eats. And she's doing some volunteer work on the weekend, which is, you know, very useful and helpful at this time. But you just want to be a part of something because it's very good for the soul. Even if you're not sure if it's going to benefit you exactly, I would say go for it, because the last thing we want to feel is like that we are alone, like we're the only ones that's going through something, and then we shut down towards everybody else, and others may not know what you're going through. But being that you just, you know, it can be overbearing at times. So it's definitely, that's a great point, just to.
And I did want to ask, because you're looking real neon over there with the colors.
Yeah.
What's going on with the shirt?
I don't know, shout out, read it for me.
It says, COVID-19 granted me time needed to build my dream, the entrepreneur.
Granted me the time I needed to build my dream
By the entrepreneur. So this shirt here, and thank you for mentioning it, was made by Matthew Newman, who is a great man. He speaks. I talked to him a few times in regards to DM on Instagram. He has a co-working space that's actually in Inglewood, California. So all entrepreneurs may want to look into that. It's called co-working. I believe it's called Co-working Space, but it's in Inglewood, California. He also has a book on leadership called Featuring You, and it's in regards to how to have the masses, how to instill trust in the masses. Right now, obviously, we've postponed the current events and what's been going on outside for the longest time that we possibly could. However, we do need leadership. And as we said, in regards to whether it's getting in a Facebook group or being a part of a community or just taking the time to read new things. Obviously, I recommend some of the books that I'm currently reading or that I've read, and it can always, you know, change your perspective in things, as well as just change the way that you may view the world right now, because it's certainly dark and nasty outside.
Yes, it is.
And that's me putting it as sweet as I can. So shout out to my good fellow Mr. Newman, and we thank you. I'm so happy about my shirt, and again, I want to show it off just in case y'all can see it.